He's not occupying Wall Street, he's occupying the sports world. Welcome back to PJ Sports Talk. To be on the show, call 1-866-826-1340 or 727-441-3000. Once again, here's PJ.
And we are back on PJ Sports Talk, the place to be every Saturday at noon. I'm live with my co-host Dylan and your host PJ. And so we're going to be talking about the college bowl games like we said last segment before the commercial break. Anyway, start us off, we got the Gildan, New Mexico Bowl, and that is in a place that I cannot, or it's in New Mexico, but it's in a city that I cannot pronounce. It's I'm gonna try and do the best I can. Albuquerque. Yes. Finally, I found out how to pronounce it. That's what's Google for. That's what Google is for. There. Well, anyway, Wyoming and Temple are going to be facing in that game. And we got, and Beef O'Brady's is sponsoring this next St. Petersburg game in St. Petersburg, Florida. And so I love Beef O'Brady's. They did a huge job for us once, and that was thank you, Beef O'Brady's. And that will include Florida International and Marshall. And I'm going to go down to the Bridgepoint Education Holiday Bowl, which will include California versus Texas. And the Holiday Bowl is always good. I believe Washington State went to that bowl last year, and that was a fun bowl. And we also got the Valor Alamo Bowl. That includes Baylor and Washington. I want to point that one out because Baylor has one of the candidates for the Heisman, Robert Griffin III. And also we got the Champs Sports Bowl. So those are, and that will be in Orlando, Florida, including Florida State and Notre Dame. Next, we got the Rose Bowl, which will this time, yes, I was right. Rose Bowl includes Wisconsin and Oregon. Okay. And then the Outback Bowl, I got a little bit wrong. I thought it was Michigan State and Nebraska, but it is Michigan State and Georgia. Just correcting that. That will be in Tampa, Florida. And the Rose Bowl will be in California. And going to the All-State Sugar Bowl, it will be Michigan versus Virginia Tech. Those games have always been good. I'm looking forward to another good game this year. And we will also have the Discover Orange Bowl, Clemson versus West Virginia. I remember that West Virginia faced South Florida for the Orange Bowl, and they lost, sadly, to West Virginia. So if the Bulls would have beat West Virginia, they would have gone to that Orange Bowl in Miami. And the biggest one of them all, the All-State Sugar Bowl, or the All-State BCS National Championship. That one is the great one of them all, and that will include, as everybody knows,
LSU and Alabama.
And that will be in New Orleans on ESPN January 9th, 8:30 p.m. That will be a good game like always. And I'm looking forward to that game. The only problem is that it's a rematch. But people voted for it. Thanks a lot, people. I would have liked to see an LSU-Oklahoma State game, but I don't know. I think that Oklahoma State, since they beat Oklahoma, they really stepped it up. Anyway, I wish that Oklahoma State would have gone to the BCS to face LSU. Anyway, who do you think will win?
I think LSU is going to win
Why?
because LSU already beat Alabama. They know
In Tuscaloosa, which is Alabama's home.
they know Alabama. They know how Alabama works. They know how they do their playbook. And LSU to me, is a better team, and they have a better defense. And I think they can score off of Alabama easier than last game and win.
Well, think about this. Don't you think Alabama learned from LSU?
Yeah, but LSU learned about Alabama and probably learned more from watching more of the games to see what they could see more of the trickier
Now think
plays.
about this. Alabama lost.
Yeah.
So if LSU lost, then LSU would learn more than Alabama. But since Alabama lost, Alabama knows LSU's strengths, and they can work against those strengths. But LSU doesn't know Alabama's strengths because Alabama didn't win.
They didn't use any. Well, Alabama's strengths couldn't be
They used
used
Trench
against.
Richardson, which is their strength. Trench Richardson, they start off with the ground and pound game, and then they go to the throwing game. So, do you think who learned more, LSU or Alabama? Final decision.
LSU.
And also remember this: LSU didn't blow Alabama out.
No.
It went into overtime, and LSU won in overtime.
Yeah, but LSU's defense is great because they blocked so many touchdowns. And it was a 9-6 game, but there was no touchdowns. But LSU, I think, has improved, and I think they can get a touchdown. And it might be another low-scoring game, or it might be a high score.
It might be even Tyrann Mathieu making the difference of the game.
Yep.
Because I remember, or do you think? I think you know that Alabama's better than Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Well, if Georgia can make LSU only get no points, maybe even 3. I'm not sure the score of that one. I can't remember. But Georgia, anyway, they made LSU go no points in the first half.
Well, that's kind of like the Browns or the Bucks. They lose against the Jaguars, and then they beat some good team, or they stay close, or it's like the Rays beating Boston and losing to the Marlins. It's kind of on and off with LSU.
Even though LSU gets it done all the time.
Yeah.
So, anyway, LSU did beat Georgia in that LSU-Georgia game by a blowout in the second half, just to make sure. Anyway, this is PJ Sports Talk, the place to be every Saturday at noon. And join me in my next segment. Stay right there for my NFL picks.